So what is Rakuen? Well, Rakuen is a 2D, top-down, non-combative role-playing adventure game with a similar look and feel to the 16-bit Super Nintendo/Sega era. Think of games like The Legend of Zelda. This game has a very similar playstyle. This is a game by independent developer Laura Shigihara, who also, by the way, produces and performs some of the music and songs in this game, which really helps contribute to the telling and the actual feeling of the story. Now, the name Rakuen is a Japanese word which, when translated into English, means pleasure garden or paradise, and this is where a lot of the game takes place. You play as a young boy who wears a cool paper samurai hat and is lying in a hospital bed for some reason. His mother frequently reads the book Rakuen to him, and you learn that Rakuen, or the Pleasure Garden, is a wonderful magical land where a mysterious creature lives who is the guardian of a forest, and this guardian has the ability to grant wishes, and if the boy wants to, they can visit this place together. The boy states to his mother that he would like to visit the guardian to make a wish. Now, to help relieve the boredom of being cooped up in your hospital bed, the doctor allows you to explore the hospital. As you begin to explore, you realise that the hospital has been damaged in some way. The reason for this will become more apparent as the story progresses. As you continue around the hospital, you encounter various patients, each with their own individual personalities, stories and problems. Their problems touch on some very dark and real-world issues such as loneliness, dementia, bullying, and even death. This really gives the characters some meaning and depth. It makes you actually care about what happens to them. Now, the patients ask you to do various tasks for them, such as retrieving lost items or collecting certain materials or solving basic puzzles. But in order to do this, you find yourself travelling back and forth to a parallel universe that is connected to reality through mysterious doors that appear. These doors will give you access to the story's fantasy world. Now, when you first arrive in this fantasy world, you will be accompanied by your mother. Your mother simply helps aid you in the telling of the story. You can speak to her for hints about puzzles, or if you just forget your current objective. Other than that, she serves no real other purpose, which is a shame, as I think there could have been a bit more interaction with one another, but that's just a very minor gripe. However, she plays a very major and poignant and downright emotional role towards the end of the game, so you've been warned. So you both head off to see the guardian of the forest, and find out that he has been in a deep sleep for some time. In order to wake him up, and for him to grant you your wish, you must first find and collect various songs that tie in with all of the patients you have met, thus creating individual story arcs and quest lines for the patients you have met along the way. The weird and wonderful creatures that you will encounter in this world are actually some of the patients back in the reality of the hospital. For example, an angry bear in the fantasy world who is terrorising a village is actually a grumpy old man named Tony in the hospital. He asks you to help him fix his music box. This involves you carrying out various quests in both worlds, and by completing these quests in the fantasy world, it has a knock-on effect in reality. By doing this, you learn more about their past and hear their stories, which brilliantly cross over from the fantasy world into reality. This is a very simple format used throughout the game, yet it works so well. Now, as you navigate your way through this world, you will notice how happy and bright and colourful and cheerful it is, which is a complete contrast to the gloomy, monochrome, drab look and feel to the hospital. This gives the world a sense of escapism from the actual reality. The artwork of both worlds is really well done, from the lovely looking sky islands and the bright and vibrant village, to the dark and gloomy feel to both the hospital and the underground caves that you find yourself having to navigate your way through. The lack of voice acting in the game is replaced by a text-based commentary, where you simply have to read the dialogue boxes that appear on screen. Now this in no way detracts from the game, but instead it perfectly blends in. Now the soundtrack to this game is the real star. It perfectly sets the scenes from joyous occasions to the downright tear-jerking inducing moments. I enjoyed it so much that I actually purchased the soundtrack. Now I'm sure all this may sound rather dull and boring to you. As I said at the beginning, there is no combat in this game, and there are very few ways you can actually die, as danger is not really a part of the game, bar a few timed situations. But trust me, it's not dull, and it's definitely not boring. It's really not. For this game is a mark of really good storytelling. It lacks ever so slightly in the beginning of the game whilst you're trying to figure out everything that is going on, but after a while it really does keep you hooked and you're wanting to find out more. As I said previously, it addresses some very weighty topics as the boy and the patients try to make sense of their cruel reality. The game really is an emotional roller coaster of a ride, so get ready and strap yourself in. The end scene between the boy and his mother is beautifully well done, and it's just something you will have to experience for yourself, as it tries to point out the message I believe the game is trying to portray, that no matter how hard things are, it's how we react to them that really matters. The game took me about 8 hours to complete, and this can be done faster, but there are things to collect that do help prolong the game. The game costs £6.99 in the UK and is well worth the money, but I bought the bundle which includes the soundtrack for £10.90. So to finish off this review, all I will say is that I love it when you find a hidden gem like this and you get to simply sit back and play a game that takes you on such a unique and wonderful journey, filled with fun and laughter and moments of real sadness that actually make you stop and think about what you do have in your own life. Now I really don't want this to be a hidden gem. I want this to be noticed, I want this to be played, I want the developer to get the credit she deserves, as a lot of indie developers kind of get hidden in the vast array of games that are on Steam. So if you can afford it, please go out there and buy it. Help support the developer. The links to the game are in the description box below. So finally, it's with high expectations that I eagerly await the next journey she takes us all on. So thanks for watching my review, please do comment, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.